All right, here we go. Welcome back, guys, to the M Empire podcast. I'm your host, Marshall McGee. Over there, we got Allison Barker as the co-host. We're joined by Austin McGee, another one of my brothers.
Another brother.
So he's a big-time realtor, and he does a couple other things, so we'll hit those in this podcast. Kind of the life story behind Austin. So first one, Austin, is I guess this was for you and Alex, but how did your mission shape you to the man you are now?
The mission helped me a ton. Alex jokes about it all the time because she'll point to someone and I'll go talk to him. She doesn't know how I can talk to anyone about anything. I think the mission helped that. I spoke Spanish, so learning that was really hard, and then talking to strangers was really hard. Being a different country was hard, but I learned a lot of people skills. Being a missionary, you're pretty much selling the gospel. It doesn't cost you anything but your time and your diligence. But we're selling people on what we're teaching and what the church teaches and what it does, and why we should be good people and follow those teachings. So there's a lot of sales in the mission too.
Salesman traits.
Everything in life is sales.
Yeah. So tell us about your first job whenever you got back. So you were a tanning salon, right?
It was the infrared sauna salon.
Nice.
So we had a bunch of saunas. Alex's parents got it going. Ran it for several years while I was on the mission and came back. But basically a giant salon with multiple infrared saunas so people could come and detox and sweat and work on their health. So that was kind of sales too, but I would keep those clean and sell people on sessions. So
nice.
Always been in some kind of sales.
Yeah. So this one's an Alex question, but how did you guys start the photography? Did you start that while you were gone on your mission?
No, we started that probably in it's probably 2014 or 15, but she was taking photos. She enjoyed photography. And she was shooting more and more, and people wanted to shoot with her. So, we decided to get the latest and greatest camera, make it an actual LLC, and start charging. And because she was teaching, which she really loved teaching and being with those kids, but you can only make so much while you're teaching. So she said, I'm going to do this for extra money, and it's fun, it's a hobby. And then it blew up. It got to the point where, she couldn't have enough time to teach and to edit all the photos and stay on top of that. So, we kind of came to the point where she had to make a decision to keep teaching or to be done with teaching and focus on her photography business. And that's
pretty
how I
big
got started,
now.
which that's how I usually recommend people start, is to do both. It's tough to really just jump into something, but do both until you can't do both anymore. You want to keep all the flows going. You don't want to shut off a main flow. If this one's only dripping, you want to make sure they're both going good before you cut one of them out, especially if you can do both. Might as well.
Yeah. So now we can jump to your favorite subject, which is real estate.
Real estate. Yeah, because
after your realtor's license.
Yeah.
So.
After the salon, did hearing aid sales with my father, and I loved that. Loved working with him. Loved being with the family. But did get to the point where I wanted to be out more. It's tough being a 9-to-5, no windows in the office, and it's just the same thing over and over. I did that almost 8 years, which is a long time. But I really enjoy real estate. I'm also a real estate investor, which is the main reason why I got licensed. Because I wanted, I was buying deals, and I was like, well, I want to look at deals myself. I want to learn the realtor portion of it. So I got licensed, and it was slower at the office. It was during the pandemic, so it's slower at the office. I was like, I've got the extra time. I'm going to go ahead and study, get my own license. So then when we do buy deals, we can collect that commission, and it's going to help with the down payments because, down payment, you have to put around 20% down. And if you can make 3% just for buying it, then you only have to pay it down 17%. So
it's a lot of good deals.
It's good extra money, and I wanted to learn it. So I got it, because I could and had the time.
So it was someone you looked up to whenever you started real estate?
Real estate? Well,
Yep.
Grant Cardone is my number one. He's always been into real estate investing. Graham Stephan, a YouTuber, also is a realtor out in California in LA. And then I saw, my uncle and my cousin doing really well with real estate, and they were out and about looking at houses, showing houses, selling houses, investing. So I had them as support as well. But yeah, mostly Grant Cardone is like my number one real estate guy.
He's got a lot of good books.
You love him or you hate him. He's strong. He's bold. People think he's cocky. Can I say cocky?
Yep. You can say whatever you want.
People think he's cocky, but he knows what he's doing, and he's confident. I guess that would be a better word to say. He's confident in what he does, and so a lot of people, that kind of makes him jealous and sounds like he's bragging, but he brags to show you that you can do it too. So his whole philosophy is 10x. You want to think 10 times bigger than you initially thought, set 10 times bigger goals you initially did, and do everything you can to hit those goals. Yeah. Kind of a shoot for the moon, land in the stars kind of theory. You're going to be a lot further along than if you didn't. Yeah.
So you've been doing a lot of real estate investing. Talk about duplex a little bit.
Duplexes are my jam. Realtors are starting to actually call me the duplex king.
Nice.
Because I love them. Initially Grant Cardone said buy 16 units or bigger. We saved and saved and saved for 3-4 years to try and pick up a 16 unit apartment. And it seems as soon as we would start to get close, we would get outbid. There's not a whole lot of them for sale. Yeah. We would get outbid, or something major would come up where it would hit our savings account. So then, we're like, we want to get started in real estate, and we started looking. So then I started listening to Graham Stephan, and he's a big duplex guy out in LA, and he was showing the numbers that you can get, the income that it produces, how much does it put down, how much are expenses, how much money is going to be left over, which is the cash flow. So you can put 20% down, and usually you can make sometimes 15-20% on your money invested, which is, they call it the cash on cash return. But you can buy this, the tenants are going to pay down the mortgage, they're going to pay the insurance, and you're going to have some money left over that you can set aside for repairs or to just keep building so you can buy more real estate. So I've got, last I checked, probably $12,000 a month in bills and mortgages on the real estate, and I haven't paid one penny of it.
That's good.
Every month.
Yeah.
The tenants pay it for you.
That's sweet.
So, and they're great tenants too, and I always tell them, if you want to buy a house, like, we can break the leases and I'll sell you a house. There's always going to be more renters. So they're never locked in, and I want them to eventually buy. I don't want people to rent forever and ever. I want them to be confident, but we're kind of a renter's nation. There's actually, if you look at the numbers, there's actually more and more renters every year than there are homeowners, because a lot of people, they want to be free. They want to live somewhere. It's going to be nice. They don't want to worry about the roof. They don't want to worry about maintenance. And then they want to travel, and they don't want to worry about it, or they don't want to live there anymore. So they're just going to go rent somewhere else. You don't have to sell your house, buy another one. You don't have all of that stuff that the landlord has to worry about and take care of. He's got insurance. He's got maintenance on the building. He's got taxes. He's got the interest on the mortgages. So, but with us, we bought the first duplex in 2019, literally a couple weeks after our son was born. Alex was on bed rest. That's a whole nother podcast, but she was on bed rest while we were signing the documents and buying the duplex. But long story short, that duplex, the equity grew in it, and we were able to pull out equity from that and buy another duplex. And then the equity grew in that one, and we're taking that money and we're building 2 new duplexes. Yeah. And with those duplexes, they're going to fund the next 2 duplexes. So it grows and grows, and they're on short 15-year term loans So
Okay.
they'll be
so
paid
you're not
for.
making big profit from both sides. You're just
Right.
building the equity.
They could make a lot more every month in profit, but we don't need that money. We make money in our other jobs and careers. So our goal is just to pay them down, and they'll be paid off when we're in our mid 40s, and then we can do whatever we want because we'll have enough rental income coming in at that point.
Yeah.
It's a retirement plan. Alex doesn't have retirement with photography and videography. I don't have retirement and didn't have retirement selling hearing aids, being a hearing instrument specialist, and I don't have retirement being realtor. I'm not hired by a big corporate. I don't have a 401k or anything like that. So my retirement plan was real estate, which I chose because everyone's always going to need a place to live. Technology's not going to replace that. People invest in stuff and then technology changes and it's obsolete.
Yeah.
So real estate, you're always going to need to live somewhere, even when everyone is online completely living in the whatever,
Metaverse.
in the metaverse. Your body still has to be somewhere in a temperature controlled place, and you still got to be feeding it nutrition. You're going to have to live somewhere. Even if you've got the headset on and you're in a digital world, your physical body's got to be somewhere.
Still got to have a
and
Wi-Fi
I will
box.
rent you that somewhere.
Yeah.
So real estate cannot be replaced by technology, and that's another reason why I jumped into it. And
Yeah. It'll forever be around.
it's always going to be around. And inflation with shooting up 6-7% a year, real estate also shoots up that much, if not more. So it's a good way to hedge yourself against inflation. You can store $100,000 in your savings every few years, and that's going to be worth less and less and less. That $100,000 is going to be worth half of that in 10 years.
Yeah.
At this rate.
Then the real estate's only going up. So.
And your real estate is going to be worth triple what it's worth 10 years from now.
Yeah.
So if you look at the numbers, it just made sense for us.
Yeah. That's big time.
Yeah. So, eventually that got me into wanting to help other people. I can only buy so many duplexes at a time because you have to have 20% down, or you have to have good builders to build, and you're still looking around those numbers. There are ways to get into it for much less. Another podcast for sure.
Yeah.
But I wanted to help others because the more I help people in real estate and the more I help them buy real estate, I get a commission, and that will let me buy more real estate too.
And you never know who you're talking to.
Never know who you're
connection.
talking to. Yeah. So that just helps me grow and helps other people grow, and because I've studied it so much myself, I can help someone. I've studied it for 6 years, a ton, every single year, and I can teach someone that in probably a couple months. I can save them a bunch of time. I can go through numbers with them, what areas we're looking around, what's going to cash flow, how you can depreciate the business. With depreciation, the government says your building is slowly falling apart over this amount of time. With duplexes and residential properties, that's 27 and a half years. So you can deduct that off of your taxes as a loss.
Yeah.
But if you're a real estate professional and real estate's all you do, you can actually speed that up, and you can use that depreciation in the future, and you can knock out your taxes now, and then you'll have that money to invest into more real estate, and then you can depreciate
there
that.
You go.
It's a snowball effect.
Yep.
So.
Real estate's definitely a really smart option for a lot of people. So I am Empire. Soon we'll be investing in real estate. I got a couple more flips to do, a couple more jobs to do, and I should have enough for a down payment. So.
Yeah, we've been working with Marshall. He's gonna get some real estate property soon.
Yep.
So
that's the goal. Leave on the mission, my church mission, and come back with some real estate profits. So.
Yeah, that's just gonna be making money.
Mm-hmm.
Renters are gonna be paying it off for you while you're gone. Don't have to worry about it. Let someone manage it and take care of it for you.
Smart.
Because you don't want it distracting you at all either, but just say they're handling it.
Yep.
It's there.
So we covered your real estates, your businesses. Now let's talk about kind of your fundraiser and hobby, which is Halloween and your Monster Ball.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Talk about how it started, why
Can't
you
really
started
tell.
it.
Yeah, so Halloween, the Monster Ball got started. One of our friends has a castle out in Fordland. they hired this big company. Well, this company was going to rent it out, and they were going to do a big Halloween fundraiser as a charity event. But long story short, that company backed out and decided to go elsewhere. So she had already advertised on her website that there was going to be a Halloween party at the castle. She knew our whole family loved Halloween. It gets us excited. And she also knew that I had a newborn son that was in the NICU for multiple months, and so we had those bills. So she said, why don't you guys throw the Halloween party? You can use the profits from it to help pay for your son's NICU bills. And I was like, all right, cool, yeah, I'll throw a big Halloween party in a castle for you. So we did, cool. And we had several hundred people show up, which I can get you a little footage if you want to put in the podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Insert footage here.
Don't be scared.
And well, that party grew and grew, as you see. The next year, everyone wanted us to do it again, so we rented the castle the following year, so that way she could make some money. If everybody wins, that's the goal. So rented that out, got even bigger, got to the point where we outgrew the castle, and we wanted to bring it closer to Springfield. So then we rented out the Shrine Mosque, which is a large event center, probably the second largest event center in Springfield. And John Q. Hammond's arena is probably the biggest.
That's awesome.
But when it comes to like the floor, it's probably pretty close. It's not that much bigger. There's more seating in the other one, but we're not sitting, we're dancing. Yeah. So last year we had right around 800 people. It's probably closer to 850 people show up to the Halloween Monster Ball. And we choose a charity. The first year we did it to help raise money for our son. Second year we reached out to Care Animal Rescue, and they use it for dog food and stuff for animal rescues that they do. And then we used them again last year, which we'll probably use them again. They're easy to work with. They are good with the money. They don't question us and what we're spending it on, because we want free range when it comes to what caterer we hire, what desserts we have, how much money we spend on the food and the speakers, which we can go into the numbers if you want.
Yeah.
And then also what DJ we have. Do we buy ourselves costumes, promotions? They don't question that kind of stuff. We just, we cut them a check at the end. We say thanks. This is what we're able to pay you, and then we use the rest of the money for the following year. So it just grows and grows. I love Halloween. We would do it if we broke even.
Yeah.
Just because it's fun, it's, and getting to give back. I mean, gives you a good excuse to throw a, $20,000-$30,000 Halloween party and also give back to the community. And people just need a good, clean, safe place to go and have fun. So
yeah.
It's been good.
You could talk about the speaker setup. I loved that because that was awesome.
But yeah. So we hired a company called the Headliners.
Yep.
Headline Productions, something like that. I'll have to look it up. Headline Productions, I think, is the name. But we had 20 18-inch subwoofers there. I forget how many monitors. We probably had close to 10 monitors with all the lighting. All of that costs just over $5,000 to rent. They went over it with us, and if we had to buy the system, like if for some reason, I don't know, if the building burnt down or something, or we bought insurance for it too, because the sound system and lighting itself was about $135,000 if we had to purchase it. It's much cheaper to rent it if we're only going to use it once or twice a year. It just makes sense, because especially those speakers will probably be outdated in 7-8 years. Who knows? So that way you don't have to keep upgrading your system. But yeah, that's super fun. And then you've got the cost of the building, the shrine, which is a few $1,000s, and then you've got tables, chairs, tablecloths. The caterer, we probably spent $14,000 on Mexican food from our caterer. This next year, we're probably going to do like pizza and sandwiches just so it's easier for people to eat, because there wasn't a whole lot of table space.
Yeah.
What else costs money? Marketing. I need to do the math, but we probably spent like maybe $6,000 on Facebook marketing.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys like boost the post, or did you go through the actual ad campaign thing?
I did both.
That's good.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier to boost to our audience, because the Halloween Monster Ball has its own Facebook page, so I can boost it to everyone that follows it already and their friends. That's probably my favorite boost, where it's promote it to your audience and their friends. So then a lot of times, I feel like that's a pretty good boost.
Yeah.
Good response. We would spend $500 on a boost, and then that night we would see $1,000 worth of tickets come in, which is probably break even, because those tickets were buying them food and the cost of advertising. Those were all break even. It probably wasn't until like the last 3 weeks before the event that we actually started seeing profit.
Yeah.
Because this party, I'd have to go back and look at all the numbers, but we're spending probably 25 to 30, well, probably closer to $30,000. The party brings in, I think, around 40,000, and then we were able to donate last year, I think it was $9,000.
Yeah.
And then we'll keep a little bit to help promote the next year. None of us get paid. I don't keep any of the money. My partner, which Alex is a partner on it, Niall Forsyth is a partner on it. None of us pay ourselves. It all just goes right back into the party, because even if you could pay yourself, you'd make a few grand.
Yeah.
$5,000 maybe.
Yeah.
And we would put it right back into the party anyway. So none of us pay ourselves at all. We get to spend a little money on the decorations, and we had 12-foot skeletons there.
Yeah, that was crazy. Your decorations were
so we spend money on that kind of stuff, which I guess we could kind of say we save money that way, because we would be buying that stuff anyways if it was us. So
a ton of drinks, ton of foods.
Yeah.
So
the Shriners, they run all the drinks. They're a big charity themselves, so the Shriners handle all the drink stuff. We bring sodas. And then desserts. We had Hertz Donut there, which is another local company. Los Cabos, they're local. They catered it last year, so we try and help a lot of companies. We had the Headliners are local, Los Cabos for food, Hertz Donut, local donut place. The Shriners are a local charity, and then Care Animal Rescue is a local charity.
Yeah.
So we try and keep everything local.
That's good.
It's a lot of fun. It's a really cool building. It's 100 years old this year, actually.
Yeah, that was a pretty sweet party.
2022.
It's huge.
It was built in 1922.
Wow. What's the party gonna look like next year? You got any big plans yet?
Even bigger. Let you followers know we're gonna have confetti cannons this year.
That'll be sweet.
So we're gonna hit a button that's gonna blast confetti all over everyone. So that's a fun little surprise that's coming. This year we are going bigger on the lighting. Probably keep the same sound system. I think it was plenty.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
It was pretty loud. Sound system is good. But we're going to go more into different lighting this year. So we'll probably spend a few more grand on lighting.
Wow.
So, which we'll probably save a couple grand if we switch caterers. Los Cabos was awesome, serving, catering, and just, they just supplied the plates and all that kind of stuff too. They were awesome to work with, but probably need to go with a little more simple finger foods. Yeah. Something a little cheaper too. Because, that $13,000 on Mexican food is a lot.
Yeah, that is definitely a lot.
It was good too, and I'm always so nervous the day of and anxious and excited that I'm like, have no appetite anyways, so just spending that kind of money on food and not getting to eat it.
They probably had some leftovers too.
Barely.
Really?
It's mostly just beans. left over, but yeah, we had chicken fajitas.
The partiers were hungry.
Tacos, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So not a lot of leftovers, but they did let us go in like the next day or two, and eat.
Yeah,
which was nice of them.
that is nice.
So, but they're awesome food, so good.
Well, do you have a piece of advice for someone that's my age? Because that's around the audience that we're getting. So.
Yeah, honestly, real estate, study it more. Graham Stephan is a popular YouTuber, but real estate, there's all kinds of stuff you can invest in your 401ks and stocks and crypto and, different new businesses you can invest in. But real estate is the most solid. Even if there's another real estate crash, you're going to have renters that are paying your mortgage. So even if the value of your real estate drops for a year or two, it'll always go back up. Look in the past, and it's always going up and up and up. Houses 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when your grandma bought a house 50 years ago, how much did she spend? Way less than it costs now. So it's just a great way to look into it. My biggest regret is not starting sooner. We were, very conservative. We had the money in the savings, and it took me 5 years to pull the trigger because I was scared.
It's a big jump.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
What if it doesn't work? But real estate, it works. Run the numbers over and over and over. Make sure it's a good investment, and you'll be solid. Just start young.
If you're local, then
if you're
hire
local,
Austin.
If you have any real estate questions, let me know. Reach out. Marshall will get you my phone number. The easiest way to get started is house hacking. Buy a duplex, or even buy a house. So even more simple, you can, what do they call it? Co-living. If you buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, which you can get in it for 3.5% down on an FHA loan, and then rent out the other 2 bedrooms. You can buy a nice 3-bed, 2-bath house for $200,000, and you can rent out each bedroom for $500 and share the kitchen, and that will cover your mortgage.
House hacking.
House hacking is the easiest way. Look it up. Bigger Pockets. If you want to learn more about real estate, Bigger Pockets podcast is a good one too.
Yeah.
They talk a ton about real estate.
I'll have to check them out.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like your dog wants to see you. She's clawing on the other side of the door.
You can let her in if you want.
Sure.
Oh yeah, you're mine. Molly, you come here. Well, thanks for having me, Marshall.
No problem.
This is fun. Look forward to talking more. Thanks for all your words.
Lots of them.
Yeah, we had the idea to do the podcast like 5 minutes before we started because my camera shut down and I had to do this whole thing through my settings, and finally I found out the issue and it's working now. But thank you for joining.
Anytime.
Got a lot of wise words out of Austin McGee today, so that is your tip, real estate. So search it up. Thank you, Allison, co-host. Thank you, Austin, again. See you guys later. Bye.
See ya.